Start recording back up again. Get that going. Let's see. Let's see. Trying to get the right kind of questions. I'll try to answer. Okay. It is not cooperative. It is not multiplayer. And I'm not playing with viewers. Let's see. We want. There we go. Let's see. Trying to find the right kind of tags for this. I'll put educational down. For those of you that might not be aware, I've beaten Subnautica multiple times already, so let's see. I'm not finding the right kind of. Tags for this. There we go. I just noticed something, spoilers allowed. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do an update here. We'll go ahead and quit out of our Borderlands 2 playthrough. And then let me activate Subnautica and we will go ahead and see what we do here. Okay, that should be good. Let's see, let me see what we got here. See, don't need this. Pardon me while I get everything kind of set up over here. Oh, Streamlabs, what are you doing? You're killing me here. Okay, don't need that anymore. Rename that to Subnautica. And then properties. Change that to Subnautica. There we go. There we are. Okay, now, just so you're aware, I've, you know, just in case anyone questions me, I've done this before, so it's not like, um, it's not like I haven't done it before. So, um, I think though, let me switch over to like one of my older playthroughs, and I'll use that as kind of like a test bed, or just something to just kind of show. I don't know where I stand in the storyline for it, but I mean it was showing the rocket already built, or that's at least the platform. So get through this, and then I can start answering anyone's questions if you're coming in and wondering. That is a lot of jumbled messages right in the center there. Probably trying to load in all of the different bases that this one particular playthrough had. Now, for those of you that might want to, that are kind of curious, I actually do have a playthrough of Subnautica way back in the day, hardcore mode. So if you want to check in on that, you're welcome to. My mouse movement is a little slow. Let me see if I can lower. See if maybe I can increase the mouse sensitivity. That might be a little too much. Let's see. And that's good enough. Okay, so it looks like I'm in one of my minor bases. Yeah, I am. Okay. Let's go ahead and head on down to my Seamoth over here. Right. Welcome aboard, Captain. So let me head back up to the surface real quick, because I'm seeing a lot of people that were kind of struggling, or I've seen some people that kind of struggle at the very beginning. And let me go back up to my main base and try to answer some questions here. And then I'll come on back down to my little sub base that I got there and continue to answer any kind of questions that anyone might have. Now, if anyone's kind of wondering, use beacons as much as you can, just to kind of give you a sense of where to go. Because without it, you're just going to have some difficulties. So, trying to figure out where everything is. Now, you know, there's obviously the old base. Doesn't really matter much anymore, obviously, seeing that I have multiple bases. But when you start off there, you have basically nothing. You have to use the resources that are available to you to get to build up from where you're at. So let's go there first. Now I've cleaned this one out before, so it's not like I need to go back there, but it's just a matter of I want to try to start off at a start off in an area that allows for me to kind of connect with any new players that are kind of curious. Now, one thing that you'll have to be aware of is the fact that um, your life pod is going to be or in the shallows, meaning in this particular area that's, you know, fairly close to solid ground. You know, the fact that I'm only 16 meters deep and I'm almost touching the ground here. Um, you know, your life pod will always kind of show up there. So, and it's not always going to be in the same exact spot each and every single time. It will change positions based off of the different playthroughs. Okay, um, so don't expect to hop on out and see the exact same thing each and every single time. Not gonna happen. Um, Now, when you first get down here, you know the escape pod is broken, the radio is broken, and all you have in your open storage container is like 2 flares, 2 waters, and 2 nutrient bars. Don't really care about the flares, to be honest. Um, it's they're good if you just want to kind of drop them down a deep pit, maybe. But for the most part, I haven't really had a need for them. They're super bright and to be honest, your light is just gonna be as good, if not, you know, uh, your flashlight is gonna work just as well, if not better, in my opinion. So don't bother with those. Um, Fabricator, you're not gonna be getting obviously a lot of these tools in the very beginning. You'll want to get a scanner at the very start. Oh hell, um, there's actually a survival package. Start here. This basically, you know, you wanna first starting this. Um, you wanna kind of read through this a little bit, you know, calm down, you know, and then you want to go to the survival checklist. And there's your first aid if required. When you first start off, you have like 50% health, so you can open up the fabricator kit and actually get, you know, the first aid, and it will refresh on you each and every single time, so you don't really need to worry too much about it. See, like, I'll pick this up, and as you can see, there's a slight percentage being raised as it continues to generate another medical. So it's already at 2%. So it takes a while, but hopefully you don't get yourself hurt too much. Um, uh, Next on the list, take inventory of available materials and supplies and decide on rations. Now, one of the first things that a lot of people do is that they pull out the nutrient bars that are in here and the waters and they consume them right away. Nutrient bars you want to keep, okay, because they don't spoil. Uh, so, in the fact that they give like 70, what was it, 75 food per bar, you don't need to worry about it, you know. Um, Better to just kind of exit your escape pod and just go and pick up some of the local wildlife. You know, just pick up a boomerang, pick up a peeper. Peepers are really good when it comes to food. Okay, And yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a hassle trying to, pick them up or whatnot, at the very beginning, seeing that you're gonna be like super slow, but, um, eventually you will be able to kind of catch one, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about, um, you know, you shouldn't have to worry too much about food. And these guys will stay alive in your inventory, you know, so you shouldn't need to worry about having to cook them up right away. But if you do cook them, then you want to eat them right away. Okay, I say that because when you are going to the food, the cooked food here does not stay. Okay, they will degrade over time for you. Now, you can go for the cured food, but and cured food will last longer, but they will still rot on you. Okay, they don't last forever; they last longer. So you'll want to, if you're going on, decently long trips, cured food is what you probably want to go for. Okay, if you're going for something that is most likely going to be a definite long-term trip, say like you want to go and explore the Aurora or something like that, then you want to come over to your container and pull out the nutrient bar that's in there. You don't need to worry about it otherwise. Okay. Um, Now, one thing that some people don't really know about is that the bladderfish here, you know, they will give you water, okay, but it's not it's not really a long-term solution because you come in here. Now, some people cook the bladderfish. Don't do that. Don't cook the bladderfish. Okay, that will just um, you're not going to be needing food as you're going to be needing water. See, look at this. What the difference here? Okay, my my water already is down to 37 in comparison to my food, which is at 76. Okay, this is standard. Okay, the water will drop quicker overall than it will the food. So if you're in desperate need of food, don't bother with the bladderfish. Always use the bladderfish for the water. Okay. You don't need to worry about the cooking them up for the food. If you want food, grab any one of the other, you know, different fish species that are out here, such as the peeper. Okay. The peeper in the starting area is one of the best starting pieces of food that you can have. Now, I've seen some game players that are um, that play that do the cured food and they eat it right away. Don't do that. Okay, don't waste the salt on food that you're going to eat almost instantaneously. Just cook the food up and just consume right then and there. I say this because salt is going to dehydrate you, okay? Meaning you're going to have even less water than what you had before, okay? Whereas eating a cooked peeper. Here, let me do that again so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about here. Oh, if I can just pick up a peeper. Here we go. So, gonna cook up the peeper here. Now, I don't really need to eat it right at the moment, but you can see here that you have food at 32 and water at +5. Okay. A salted peeper is, I believe, the same food, 32, but the water is going to be at like -2. Let me do a comparison. So first off, let me go and grab another peeper, if I can find one. Oh, there's one. Oh, come on. Get back here. Thank you. Now we'll go and get ourselves some salt, which you can typically find around the creepvine areas. Typically, not always. The best source for salt is in the in the red uh, red kelp zones. Oh, there it is. There's one. There we go. So now we're going to cure that peeper, and now we're going to go ahead and compare the two. So yeah, cure peeper 32 -2. So use this for long term, not short term. Okay, but you'll want to eat your cooked peeper almost as soon as you can, because as you can see, the numbers go down, and they go down fairly quickly. So that, to the point where not only will the water be at negative, but the food itself could also be negative. Just try to eat them as quickly as you can, so you don't have any negative effects. Okay, I've seen people that have eaten rotten food and have died because of it. Okay, so now bladderfish water is good. Okay, it's good. It's not that filling. You only got like 20 points of water for a bladderfish. Not great. One of the best early game waters that you can do right at this point is go for the bleach. Now let me kind of show you what I mean by that. So first off, oh, there was salt right next to me. All right. One of the best things you could do is go find yourself a salt, and then come on over here and cut a giant coral tube. Okay. Why do you do that, you say? Well, that will allow for you to create what is known as bleach. Now, obviously, as everybody knows, you do not drink bleach directly. Everybody should know that. So, but here's the thing. The fabricator can actually generate disinfected water from the bleach. Basically, it takes the salt water from outside, uses the bleach to generate water for you. Here's the thing. The water, the bleach, generates 2 disinfectant waters at 30 plus. Okay, let me kind of show you, or give you a direct comparison again. Come on, get it. One bladderfish. Only 1 filtered water. And that's it. So you're getting triple the amount of water just from getting the coral tube and the salt. So pretty decent overall. Okay. Now, salt isn't exactly prevalent in the shallows, hence the reason why you'll want to go to the green kelp forest over there, or what you want to go to is the red grass area. Okay. I think that's about as much as I want to cover in, or it's good enough on the tips for the your escape pod. One thing that I will note though is scan everything. You know, everything that you can find or whatnot, because that will help you out. You know, in the storyline. Okay, they will give you little tips on what the material's all about, their threat levels, if any, and you know, they will tell you, hey, if it's something that you can use, such as acid mushrooms, for example, acid has applications in battery fabrication. So this can be helpful for you. So don't forget to scan everything. Okay. It could potentially save your life. So, alright. Now, I'm going to go back to my main base here. Now, the sea moth is something around late early game or beginning mid. It's very very handy. Nice, helpful vehicle to kind of get around. It won't be your end game content though. It won't be your end game vehicle of choice in this. Now, personally, I don't really like the Cyclops. Now, here's, you might be you might be looking at this right now and going, damn, Jim, that is a lot of solar arrays. Well, there's a reason for that. And let me kind of discuss what's going on here. So, Look at my power. I don't really need to worry too much about that. I have a lot of power available, and I don't really have anything that is really necessary right at this point in time to worry about a lot of energy depletion. Now, when you have two different moon pools and you have, the fabricator, the battery charger, the, medical fabricator, a scanner room, and, other stations and like that's taking up a lot of your, um, they will deplete your power pretty fast. You know, I have two water filtration systems. Now, you might be asking, well, why do you have that? Well, that's because I found out that the the rate on which your water drops is typically more than what a single large filtered water station can do. Um, I've normally run out of water prior to getting another supply of large filtered water. So, hence the reason why I normally build two of them. Okay, I will always have plenty of water. Um, with You will always have plenty of water with two of the water filtration systems. No doubt in my mind on that. So you shouldn't have to worry about um, water ever again when you want to when you need that. And of course, it's really good for salt. Not that you really need salt at this particular juncture. I mean, if you really want to cure your peeper or cure food, it's always that's perfectly fine. I mean, as you can see, cure peeper still hasn't gone down in food content or dropped even further into H2O. So, not bad. But so if you need salt, filtration machine is pretty good. Um, but it does take a lot of energy to run these two machines. Okay, now you might be wondering, well, Jim, why don't you just use your bioreactor? Well, I do, and it's useful. Um, but here's the thing about the bioreactor. If you do not put the right materials into the bioreactor will just kind of break down, the biomass really quickly, and your your solar panels are not going to be able to hold up over time. Okay, it's one of the reasons why I always kind of suggest, spam your solar, the solar arrays because that will allow for you to, um, to generate a lot of energy, you know, fairly consistently when the sun is out. You don't need to necessarily angle them in any particular fashion or whatnot. And um, when you have enough of them, it's continuous power. I don't have to come up here to my bioreactor and put material in it, because my solar panels handles that. Now, did it get to a point where if you, I mean, the bioreactor is great for when you want to have a lot of power storage. Okay, it gives about 500 power, but for me, solar panels was the one that was kind of keeping um, my base working all the time. I didn't need to worry about replenishing my bioreactor or anything along those lines. Okay, does it look great? Yeah, no, not really. But you can pretty much put these anywhere on your base. Okay, hell, I could put it down here on the foundation and it'll still work. It'll still connect the two. If, of course, your foundation is close enough. Let's see. Oh, one other thing concerning the bioreactor. Now, some people have said, use fish, use plants, blah, blah, blah. You know, you put whatever you want into the bioreactor and um, you can generate power from it. Problem is that there are some um, materials, there's some, uh, you know, uh, materials and the like that just do not work well with the bioreactor, or they just do not power the bioreactor for very long. So here, let me see if I can demonstrate that a little bit. So I'm gonna throw this guy in here. Now, obviously, as you can see, there's some mushrooms in there. I'll tell you why. Um, the acid mushrooms, from what I know and from what I've experienced, are the best material for the bioreactor, hands down. Okay. As you can see, um, the I have this entire bioreactor kind of filled with acid mushrooms, and it's still going. Okay. I have not lost a single acid mushroom in this entire thing so far. Okay. And my scanners, well, no, actually my scanner room isn't active right at the moment. So let me go ahead and turn it on, just so you can kind of so let me just kind of set on the data box here right at the moment. So we're gonna have a lot of dropage power pretty soon. And while solar power is fantastic in my opinion for early game. Okay. Obviously, it will not help you during nighttime. Okay. Hence the reason why you want to have a large amount of power supply. Okay. Um, having a charge of 500 and multiple different solar arrays will allow for you to have a large supply of battery in your base so that you can kind of handle the nighttime. Okay, because you will still be going out and collecting things and whatnot during the nighttime. Okay. Um, if you don't, you're just kind of limiting yourself, or taking even more time trying to handle um, the situation. So, um, but as you can see, my power is now reducing down that that much at all. So, matter of fact, let's go ahead and get our water machine, our filtration machines going like constantly. I made myself a little room with lots and lots of resources. So, yes, you can color code them. You can change the locker names. And uh, even though these lockers don't really store as much as the other version, here, let me bring up the habitat builder here real quick. Um, there it is. The wall lockers are not as large as the regular lockers. The wall lockers don't require quartz, and you don't need, and you have the ability to actually name these. So if you know exactly where everything is in a locker, then go ahead and use it. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But if you need some help in organization, if you're like, I don't know where my copper is, I don't know where my rubies are, or whatnot, consider using the wall lockers. Okay. Um, I have a full, um, multi-purpose room just for organization. And now I can just kind of, if I want copper, I can just go and find copper. Not that I have any right at the moment, but um, I can just kind of go to whatever locker I want to go to, and I will find whatever resource I have in there. Now, I don't have them all stocked up right at the moment because I didn't really need to have them completely stocked up, but you can. And, you're gonna get it's gonna help you out in the long run. Now, there is the ability to create signs. Okay, so you can create a locker and then put a sign on it. Okay, matter of fact, let me go ahead and do that. I don't have any copper. Alright. Let's go ahead and go get ourselves some copper here real quick. There we go. Scanner rooms are the best. Okay, when it comes to resource gathering. If you don't have a scanner room, try to find one, try to get one, try to build one, and do it quickly. Because believe me, it is super useful. Anyone that tells you that they are a complete waste of time is pulling your leg. Do not trust them at all. They are not helping you whatsoever. If you are listening to these individuals say, oh yeah, welcome aboard, Captain. You don't need a scanner room. Yeah, no, don't listen to them. Scanner rooms are one of the best tools, hands down, with gathering resources. Period. Now, what I do is I use the scanner room range upgrades, and I use 4 of them. They stack. They are super helpful. Okay, and then of course, when you are able to, get the HUD chip. Another thing that is super helpful. Okay, See, without the HUD chip, see how the limestone chunks are right there? Well, if I take it off, pop, there they go. So it stays on your person, and it's super useful. Okay, all the data that you get from your map comes up on your HUD. Does this cause a problem to people? Yes, it does. Okay, so if you don't want it happening all the time, turn it off. You don't need it to have it. You don't need to have it going all the time. Now, personally, it doesn't bug me that much. Okay. Um, it doesn't really matter to me all that often. But okay. So now I want to show off the large storage locker, which I need to get some quartz. Oh, and need a little bit more titanium. And then we'll just go ahead and build our locker right down here. Now, I was able to put like 4 lockers side by side on a wall. The standalone lockers, you could probably get about 2, maybe 3. So, and then sign. As you can see, I cannot put it on the locker itself. So just bear that in mind. So you have to kind of put it up there, and then now empty locker. Oh, cocker, whatever. And of course you can increase or decrease the size and whatnot, so change colors, remove the border, or remove the background, or not have have the background in there. So all up to you. So, and then of course you can throw whatever you want in there, but I can throw all my water that I don't need in there anymore. And then we can just actually go, oh hey, I want to change my sign to water. Done. So now, let's see. Don't have a whole lot more time left for my stream here, which means it's going to be a short video for those of you that are watching this on YouTube. Now, let's see. What other tips that I can give that are fairly quick? Get yourself an indoor grow bed when you find it. I won't spoil that for you if you're kind of watching this later on. You will eventually find it because the story will lead you in that general direction. Okay. Use your radio. The radio will send you to multiple different locations, and each one of them are super helpful. Okay. They give you a rough estimate of where you want to go and what you want to do. Another thing is don't forget to check out your database, okay? Because your database will give you a lot of information Okay, concerning the Aurora survivors, codes and clues, the Dagazi survivors. Um, you'll be getting some blueprints, geological data, sandstone outcrops, you know, um, these, sandstone, shale, limestone, they'll tell you what's actually contained inside them, so it's helpful. Okay. Now, one of the things that I like to do is grab the melons and the lantern fruit. Now, that and that and oh, now marble melon gives a great amount of food and H2O. Okay, by themselves. Problem is that they don't regrow on you. You have to actually put the seeds in there in order to get some more marble melon. Okay, and they do spoil fairly quickly. So same thing with the cooked peepers, not the cured peepers, the cooked peepers or cooked food in general. Grab them and eat it immediately. Okay. Now lantern fruit, um, they're not as good as the watermelons or the marble melons, but they still offer a decent amount of food and some H2O. Not a whole lot, but it's some. Now here's the reason why I like the lantern fruit. You plant one tree and look at how much fruit is on this tree. And each one gives you 10 to 3 each and every single time. Okay? So you're not going to get a lot of water from them, but you can get a lot of food from them. Okay? I mean, each one of these is 10. That will fill up your health bar, or that will fill up your food bar, just from the sheer amount of fruit that is currently on
Sorry about that.
this tree right now. Oh, hey, how's it going there, Gabe?
When you're having too much fun, I forgot about your stream until like 9 minutes left.
Yeah, no worries, bud. Um, I was just giving some general tips on Subnautica. So,
Any
uh,
luck,
on,
Borderlands?
I got a little bit farther. Well, I mean, not. I moved to I went to a DLC and suffered quite a few deaths deaths from the Tiny Tinas, but um, you know, got a got another level out of it. Got some additional equipment, so
That's nice.
yeah.
And plus, my friend hates me now because I got both pigs that he wants in War Thunder: the Jumbo and the Tiger.
Let's see, any other tips that I can tell anyone about for Subnautica right at the moment? Hmm.
Well, if
Um,
you're in a ultimate Vault Thunder mode, get ready to get down a lot.
oh yeah, I plan to. Now, one thing that I will say for Subnautica, um, reinforcement here is super valuable. Okay, they give you a lot of structure for just being placed on the side of your buildings. Now, you can't place them everywhere, Okay, but there are plenty of spots that you can, especially on the multi-purpose.
Wait, are you playing Borderlands or something else?
I'm playing Subnautica right now.
You
I got
get up on Borderlands?
I was getting a little tired of Borderland, or I was getting a little sleepy, so I figured I'd switch things up a little bit. Um, keep my attention a little bit more focused. So, um, okay, let's see. What? Um, Another thing is that if you use glass, be careful with it because it drains your structure integrity down pretty fast. Okay, so if you want to come up to, like, say here, let's go ahead and make ourselves some glass, shall we? Oh, oh my,
I just killed a KV-1S5 and a KV-1S. Oh, and Jim,
hmm, what's up?
I got fired. I spent 33 bucks on this game. That's the only time I'm gonna spend money on this.
Right. Mm,
And I got two new tanks.
okay. So
One
a-
Hades.
as you can see, the window caused about a drop of 1 point in your structure integrity because windows are not going to be able to withstand the pressures as you go deeper. Okay, so every single window that you put in is, you know, makes makes it look nice in the sense that you're now seeing the surrounding area to begin with. But be careful because too much glass and you will lose complete structural integrity and then your base starts flooding and all that kind of jazz, and you really don't want that to happen.
How am I still alive?
um, let's see. What
It's a
else?
3v1, and I'm not dead.
Okay, now one last tip before I close down the stream. Now, I always put my main base or my starting base right here in the red grass zone because I will always find pretty much everything that I want mid game here in this particular spot. I will always build something like right here. Now, why do you say I do that? Well, you know, for one thing, I will always be able to spot it because I will always know where LifePod 17 is. Okay, it's always going to be shown on your database because you will have the crew log showing you, or you have the waypoint, the beacon manager, whatnot, showing you where LifePod 17 is going to be once you find it on through your radio. Okay. The other reason is the fact that you have this very large wreck right over here, and this wreck is full of useful tools and resources available to you. I cannot stress enough this wreck is very nice. If you ever if you ever find it, and it will always be right next to LifePod 17, it is super helpful for you. Okay, so just a general tip. This is a really good spot for when you want to kind of start off, in my personal opinion. Okay. Um,
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Not only that, but as you can see right down here, that's the jelly zone. Here, let me see if I can go down there. This place is super great when you want to find magnetite. Yeah, you might find some shales and stuff like that as well. But this zone is really nice when you want to find the resources magnetite on them. Okay, I'm not seeing them, seeing any right at the moment, but believe me, it's here. Okay, scanner room right above this place, scanning for magnetite, and you're going to be finding a lot of resources available to you. Don't build a base down here. Just build a base above and use your scanner to scan for the necessary resources that you have on here and whatnot. It's not showing up because the camera itself has to kind of see the resources. It's one of the problems with scanner rooms is the fact that um, resources, especially when you're coming back um, into the game when you save it, and like um, your scanner room will drop the resources from the list. It won't stick, and it's unfortunate, but you'll just have to kind of, you can use a camera to look around, find the necessary resources that you want to find, and this is doing it safely. You know, you're not going to have any kind of monsters or anything like that coming after your camera drone. Okay, they don't really care about your camera drone at all. So this kind of keeps you safe while still kind of exploring, and will allow for you to get your scanner room to kind of find the resources that you wanted to find. What's really interesting is the fact that I'm finding a lot more shale than I am magnesite, which is very odd. There is some.
After stream, you want to watch me play?
Sure, that's fine. So, start at the magnesite, and there it goes. It starts popping up down below, so you just kind of look down there, and there you go. Okay, one last thing that I want to kind of talk about on this before I stop
And the stream.
the stream and the like. Oh, I know what I wanted to say.
Vital
Um,
signs stabilizing.
Now, you might notice the fact that I don't really have the Cyclops. That's because I don't really like it, to be honest. Um, the Cyclops, while you can still um, um, while you
Travel
can
through the
still
LPD
use it
deployed.
as a base, it can be a mobile base, which can be very handy. It is big, bulky, and
Hello?
really unwieldy. So I don't normally recommend the Cyclops. Um, I mean, it's good if you really want to. If you haven't driven around in it, I say go ahead and try it. But for the most part, you're faster with the sea moth, and you're able to go the same amount of depth with the prawn suit. I personally like to put multiple different bases around the map when I need them. Now, for new players, anyone that is just starting out with this particular game for the very first time, scanner rooms. Okay, just spam the scanner rooms. Okay, you just need one scanner room and a hatch and one or two solar panels, and you're gonna be good. Matter of fact, let me hop into my Seamount here real quick, and I'll show you what I mean.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
If if you want to kind of try to find resources in a particular area and you don't want to go searching all over the place for them, scanner room. Okay, scanner room will be your friend. Okay, it will show you pretty much everything that you want to see without any kind of difficulties. It will give you the resources that you're looking for. It will also show you where some particular tech is. So if you're trying to find out where you can get a particular item, equipment, or whatnot, you can find that through the scanner room. Okay. So, you know,
I'm not even sure if anyone hear that because in Discord you were sounding like a robot a few times.
mm, well, I'm recording it, so um, I can, if no one really knows, then they can see it on the um on my YouTube channel.
All
But
right.
you know,
Welcome aboard, Captain.
so this has been, this helps you find where some wrecks are. You can find where some data boxes are. You want to find where some shale is, or diamond, or copper, or, I mean, scanner rooms are without a doubt one of the best tools for resource gathering and the like. So, you know, and that's pretty much it for now. I mean, you know, I do recommend you find the beacons and drop them off wherever your bases are, so you'll always have a constant, um, you know, spot on your heads-up display that will show you where your bases are. Otherwise, you're gonna have to figure out where you left your base in the beginning. Which, I mean, if you want to keep your cameras in your scanner room, that's one way of doing it if you want to. But just remember, your scanner room is gonna drop all the resources off of it. So, uh, yeah, I think that's gonna be it for um, my general tips for now. If anyone has any additional questions, contact me, go on my Discord, chat with me there. Um, you know, leave a comment on my videos, and I'll try to answer them. Okay, if it's something that I can answer, um, then I will go ahead and provide it. If it's something that I don't really know, or I personally haven't learned, then I will try to look it up for you or provide a resource for you to look at so that you can have your answer there if you need it. But um, so yeah, that's gonna be about it. So hopefully my small little video here was informative to you. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is the end for my stream. These videos will be uploaded to my YouTube channel, so feel free to check those out. A link is down below on my Twitch channel. I also have links to my Discord, my Patreon, and my Twitter account down below on my Twitch channel, as well as in the description of my YouTube videos. So if that interests you, feel free to check those out as well. Um, Friday and Saturday are going to be continuing my Stardew Valley playthrough, so feel free to check that out. I'll be continuing Borderlands 2 next week.
If he doesn't get tired.
Hmm. Well, I could get bored as well, so, I mean,
Yeah, that too.
so, um, and that's probably what was going on. I was just kind of getting bored of the gameplay for Borderlands 2, so I just like, let's change things up a little bit. Sunday is going to be my coding stream using Unity and C Sharp. So if you're interested in coding, programming, game development, whatnot, stop on by my Sunday stream for that. But I do this daily from 2 to 6 p.m. PST. So you'll always find me up, well, unless I'm sick. It's really the only time that I really stop or don't stream, really. Um, uh, I also have a schedule down below on my Twitch stream, so if you're curious as to what game I'm playing on which day, check out my Twitch stream. You'll see what day we're currently on and what I'm going to be playing, so feel free to check that out if you like. But that is going to be it. I'm going late in my stream here, so take care there, folks. Have a good night, and I'll see you strangers next time.